All right, good evening, viewers. Welcome to SS Media and welcome to your favorite show, the talk show program, with your presenter, ML Colleague. Today in the studio, I have Mr. Yusuf Taylor, the spokesperson of the Gomsa Bopa, also known as Mr. Flex. Mr. Flex, good evening and thanks for inviting. I'm honoring our invitation.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here with us.
All right, thank you very much once again. And today we will be talking about, present issues. As you know, that we are faced with challenging situations right now in our country. But first, we will have to talk about Gomsa Bopa. Then we will go to other challenges that we are facing. Can you please tell us what Gomsa Bopa movement is? How does it came up?
Thank you very much. Gomsa Bopa, I'm the spokesperson of Gomsa Bopa. It's a movement which focuses on youth, the artists, and civic awareness, youth development, young people being active in holding accountable the current administration and also human rights. So it's a youth-led organization. We've been established, I could say, since around the turn of the new administration. But before that, our organization was, very busy with the cipher. So the cipher, some of you may know, our listeners, some of them may know the cipher. It's a hip hop show which happens every frequently, and we have tournaments, and we've been doing that, and that's what gave birth to the cipher. That's what gave birth to Twinkle Sabota later on. So the president is Kilayes. Many people will know him as one of the leading human rights advocates in the country. He's a rapper, a raptivist, I call him. The cipher has been around since 2012, just to show you how far that goes. And then Gomsa Bopa in 2016, myself, Kilayes, others like Lamin C, Marigo, many others. If I start calling names, Tijan, Babu Jau, many others. If I start calling names, I will not be able to exhaust, right? But there were many of us who were working together when Kilayes dropped the song Kuboka Shikateki, and we were trying to make sure that we held the former government accountable. That's eventually when the change came. We decided to consolidate, and that's when we formed Gomsa Bopa. Yes.
The name Gomsa Bopa is, of course, a word of language that means have trust in yourself. What motivated you to choosing that specific, unique name for yourself?
Yeah, so Gomsa Bopa actually it translates to believe in yourself. So we believe that many young people have lost hope in the system, right? And that is seen by the number of young people taken through the back way, struggling outside. It's not just about Gomsa Bopa, believe in yourself, believe in your country, believe in your nation, right? And then believe that you can make it here. So that's what the Gomsa Bopa mentality is about. Gomsa Bopa, we believe that people who know themselves will be able to believe in themselves. And if we believe in yourself, you should be able to make it in here, in this country. So, like I said, we actually do a lot of work with marginalized young people. They are the ones we usually try to bring to the cipher. And, we do protests. We've been advocating for NAWEC. So those are the things that Gomsa Bopa has been involved in. And as per the name, it's a sense of belief. Yeah, a sense of patriotism, which we want to instill in Gambians. Not the the defeatist mentality, or if one can say, it's not that these people who are taking the back way don't believe in themselves per se, but they don't believe that they can make it here. That's for sure. Which is why I said it's not just about Gomsa Bopa, but believe in yourself, believe in your country. So we have a big job to do. It's not easy because seeing our brothers die on the back way is very, very disheartening. So that every time we see those things, it's telling us that we really have a lot of work to do.
Sure. Thank you very much for telling us how that name emanates. In fact, how Gomsa Bopa came about. Now we want to talk about the recent happenings in the country, more specifically brutality towards citizens and protesters in bracket. And we will first pick it from the first protest, that was the first Gala protest. Last week we had a show here where we invited the, deputy national campaign manager for the National People's Party. And we discussed about brutality, police brutality towards citizens. But he believed that there's nothing like brutality, but that is his own perspective because we understand he's a politician. You as a civil society organization, as an activist, as a journalist, how do you see the recent happenings between the Gambia police force and the protesters?
If he says that there's no police brutality in the country, I don't even have to disagree with that. The series of events have demonstrated. Police have been shown on camera. They don't even hide it now. It's as if now they feel like they have been given a flag. Go ahead, green flag. Just go ahead, do whatever you feel like. Today, people are crying over. I don't know when he was saying this, whether it was before we lost Omar Baji or after. But I don't even. It was before.
Last week Sunday.
It was before. So I'm sure if you are asking that now, I don't think he will answer that. Tell you that same thing which he said. But just to conclusively, this is not about my opinion now. We've seen Omar Baji dead. Today they just buried him. Today. Whereas the country is mourning, not just the Baji family. I want to also pay my respects to them. All right. But 1 week before Omar Baji's death, we all saw one of our own journalist colleagues working at the state broadcaster. This is not somebody who you can say is like working at an independent media house or or an activist or anything. This is a journalist who is working with the state broadcaster. They don't want to report anything like that, but guess what? They showed you from their story. They narrated how police invaded their compound. Home invasions. Police brutality is not just limited to you when you are out on the street, police stop you. No, it's now also a big problem. You can be in your house. If there's a problem in your neighborhood, police can come in your house and tear gas there. Police brutality is happening. They have video evidence. Please, if you are showing this interview, I want you to show those videos. Let it be showing where they are slapping people, where police is stamping somebody in the stomach. You see, no, look, they're human beings. I don't want to be boring, but me as a journalist, there's something called the TRRC. Maybe the gentleman who was saying those things, that there's no police brutality or nothing like police brutality here, maybe they were not following the TRRC. Somebody forgot to follow it. But anybody who follows the TRRC, there are many recommendations, and I can go through them with you. One of those recommendations is specifically targeted at the PRU, that they should be trained on crowd control. They highlighted what happened to Solo Sunday, how he was brutalized. So many documentary evidence. This is what is happening here in this country. You see, people go out to protest. Police, instead of police, if police want to just come and arrest people and take them, nobody will say anything. Take them to court. Fine, that's police's work. Right? Even though the law says that people should be freely assembled, what they cannot do is process. So if people are processing, the police can stop them. But you see that the way that they are applying it, there is police brutality, and now it's at an unprecedented level. I will also give two last points to prove that there is police brutality in this country. Gorgimbu, God bless his soul. And every time they raise these things, I have no choice but to bring it up. All right? It's not that I want to drag the guy's name every single place that I go, but I will continue to raise it because of people are denying that there's police brutality. And we must bring examples. Remember when he assaulted one young man called Ibrahim Asani, I reported this case story of Ibrahim Asani. Just like what you see police is doing here. They wrote a statement quickly to counter what I had published, that Gorgimbu did not brutalize this young man. Eventually, I went all the way into anti-crime to see him and had an interview with him. And I asked him, is it true that you hit this man with a hoe? I asked him many questions. I asked him, is it true that this guy was pissing blood there at anti-crime? He could not deny. So police, can you see? We debunked them. But at the end of the day, NHRC launched an investigation. Because of we pushed the NHRC, we complained to the NHRC, we led complaints there. Eventually, we all saw what happened. It was proven. A whole commissioner of anti-crime unit was doing those things. And that's the one that was got. There's another one called Chipai. Also, another case of police brutality. 6 police officers jumped on him. I took Chipai, together Gomsa Bopa support. We went and reported his case to the NHRC. The police, again, they were also disciplined, proving that there is police brutality in this country. So you see, nobody can dispute that fact. That one is dead and buried. The ones which have gone away that nobody is talking about, Usman Baki. Similar to what we are saying, Usman Dabo, sorry. He was working in the Serekunda market, and this is the last one. He was working in the Serekunda market, and in 2019, he was allegedly killed by the anti-crime unit. And there was a massive protest. People marched from Serekunda all the way to Bidulo to anti-crime. I don't know if you can remember. Some of our listeners maybe will remember, right? There's even a video which Killer Ace has shared recently. I will share that with you. I don't know, maybe you can use it so that people can see. That guy was allegedly killed. The police said that, and the government spokesperson came out and they said that there's going to be an inquiry into this. Nothing, no accountability. The government said that they will hold those people accountable. Nothing. So police brutality is happening here. I have many other cases I can go through over and over again. But let's just go with these ones, just to debunk that the fact that there is police brutality. And it's not just me. TRRC says it is. NHRC has launched investigations and they have found those police wanting, and we are currently mourning another loss.
I mean, looking at the National Human Rights Commission report 2024-2025, it suggests that, I mean, proper training be given to police officers as to crowd control. Do you think this is lacking? Do you think there's that gap in the police force? Because, I mean, I've spoken to 1-2 officers that have claimed that when it comes to crowd control in West Africa, they always emerge victorious. But do you think that is, the case?
When people blow their own trumpet, sometimes I just wonder whether are they trying to convince us or are they telling us the truth of what is really happening. Sometimes also you need to also look at what bar are they measuring it to as well. So I cannot see how crowd control is improving in the country. Okay, that's one of the recommendations in the TRRC as well, that the PIU in particular have to be trained on crowd control. You saw the video at Lamin Mandinari when the youths were coming. These youths, the only thing that they were armed with is placards. Nobody was having weapon there. And these people were protesting because of one of theirs were killed. What did the police do? They opened tear gas. You saw the video. They are shooting this tear gas directly to these people. Is that proper crowd control? Babies, small innocent children, not once, not twice, at the courthouse at Canifin. Everybody saw there was a baby who was suffering from the indiscriminate use of tear gas that the police are using. Not only that, at Jabang, another baby, everybody could see the picture of that small innocent baby child because of the way that they use the tear gas indiscriminately. They will at Jabang, they chased people, left the area where there was an issue, went into you could see the videos from the journalist when she was showing how the police were running to them. This hit her phone. Seriously? Where is the transparency? Does that sound like some officers who can take care of crowd? That crowd that they met at Jabang, that is the Khadija Bokum when she was showing the video, that they came and they knock it off. And I'm hoping that you will show some of these things. Let people see when you are doing the production. Let them see some of these things, right? When they did that, those people, they were calm. Nobody there was in disarray. It's the police who came and caused commotion there. Coming there, hitting the mobile phone. Same thing. Mostly, and it's the PIU. A lot of times it's the PIU. Look at Sar when he came and met us when we were protesting outside Pura, when we were demonstrating outside Pura. When he descended with his officers, he first came, he did not only berate, he first came and it's his own officers who he started berating, and Dylan has been pretty much being very abusive to them. And guess what? He also came and started ordering arrest. The place was calm. There was no chaos like that. But you see, whenever PRU come, there's chaos there. Your boss knows very well about the PRU when they arrive. When the normal police are around and they have superiors around, they usually do behave themselves. And that we all observed it at the ages. No matter what happened there, the police were talking to the people. They were trying to convince them, no, please don't do your press conference here, move. They were moving people. But when the PRU came, the only language that these people at PRU understand is tear gas, chase, beat people, take people, throw them into van, beat them, abuse people. Yeah, they're not changing.
All right, that's clear, but we will still have to, I will still have to draw you back.
Feel free to interject at any time. If you allow me to just keep going.
I still remember on that same episode of the talk show, Mr. Cham, the NPP deputy campaign manager, says that, that commotion always comes about between the PRU and those protesters, because, the more the PRU try to calm the situation, those protesters, in fact, are the ones, in fact, he suggests that the protesters are the catalyst for those, crackdown. Do you believe that? Is the police that, trigger the alarm, or in fact the PIU that trigger, the protesters that trigger the alarm? On that same episode, Sobe was, in fact, part of my guest. He suggests that, that crackdown always comes from the PIU. But, from your own opinion, do you think, because of the heavy number of people that are approaching, or do you think because of the protesters, the words, in fact, how they are behaving is what triggered the crackdown, or is it, an order that descend on them and they will descend on them?
Well, it's easy to just say what you feel like. And when, politicians sometimes, they will just say whatever maybe perhaps suits them. Okay? But us, we are not politicians. And me, I'm a journalist. All right? Although I'm also the spokesperson of Gomsa Bopa, and I'm here as my capacity as a spokesperson. But one thing that we can all clearly identify is that the NHRC is an independent institution. It's an independent body. They themselves, when all these things were happening, they issued statements urging the government to abide by the law. We all heard what Sar said when he came. He said, my instructions are
to remove you from this.
Yes.
I'm not here to negotiate.
I'm not here to negotiate. That's the same word he used. All right? He is not there to negotiate. His order are that I'm to disperse you people. You people are here unlawfully. The moment somebody said, we are here lawfully, instead of for you to engage the person. And yes, we were there lawfully. The same Pura is an institution where people should be able to come and complain. Me, and when I was working with some of my colleagues as journalists, when we went there, Pura was telling us people don't come to complain. They even asked us to share their hotlines so that people will be calling them and lodging complaints about this thing. So now we said, you know what? We are going to come. That's the advocates now came and said, okay, we will come. And they came. Armed with what? Their words, their placard, and their petition. That's all. If the police were really serious, they would have just allowed, and to be fair to Pura, and every time I sometimes forget this, but I don't want to forget. Pura had cleared that place. Normally, I usually play joke around and say, Their expensive cars are usually there. And when we come there, we see how their big expensive cars. And I say, oh, this is where our money is going. Yeah. But that day, when we were coming to submit the petition, none of those cars were there. They had cleared that place. Those people were ready to engage with us. And to be fair to Peter, you will never go there and they will not be ready to engage. Except if they are currently busy at that moment, something is going on or whatever. But to be fair to them, and isn't that balance? We are balanced people. We have to be fair. So, Bob, for him to say that it's triggered by the protesters, it's clearly false. It's triggered by the police. Not only that, I'm saying that the NHRC, which is an institution that is an independent institution, is saying that. The NHRC, which has oversight over the police, that's what they are saying.
From another angle, I mean, given that you've already drafted a petition and you've already, I mean, written what you want and some of the things that you are requesting from people, was it really necessary to occupy that place given that you are given a permission? I mean, you are given a petition?
Oh, yes. The question for me is, does the law allow it? And the law allows it. Section 25 of the Constitution says that you can assemble, right? And also that same section 25, everything which we did that day, wallahi, ñun dañu tooñ de. Ñun dañu tooñ. Te dañu bi dañ ko wara wax. Section 25 of the Constitution controls everything we did that day. In Section 25 of the Constitution, it says that we have the right to assemble peacefully. So that means that we cannot come there with weapons, we cannot come there with sticks, we cannot come there to threaten the peace. We came there, and that institution is pure. Their job is to... I'm answering your question, just allow me. Their job is to hear complaints. Now, the law also allows us to petition them and to assemble there, right? It allows us to assemble freely, yeah? Pura gave us the space, yeah? And it allows us to petition them. Now, we wanted as many people to sign that petition, which calls us for us to engage the Gambian public. We are also on a sensitization engagement. So it's not just about 2, 3 people going. It's not a thing that is worrying just 2 people. Yeah, it's a thing that's worrying Gambians. So we feel that we were within the limits of the law, which is 1, to assemble peacefully. And I continue to emphasize on that word, peacefully. 2, in that same 25, it's also there, it says that freedom of the press. The press were there engaging us. And that's also what we were doing. And in one of the latter stages, D of Section 25 of the Constitution, Section 25D of the Constitution is saying that we can petition, which we were about to, which they stopped us. So actually, they have denied us the right to exercise what is constitutionally defined. What we did not do is process. What we did not do is use HALA, and we know fully well what the Public Order Act, and we don't do that. So I feel it's very wrong to limit or curtail citizens' rights to people's imaginations or to people's preferences. Yeah? Nobody has the right to curtail my rights. And me, my rights are not going to... Gomsa Bopa, what we believe, our rights will not be given to us on a silver platter, and we are going to... What is our right? As long as the Constitution allows us, right? We are not going to deter from it. We will encourage and sensitize people, and we will exercise that right.
But that space where Pura is using does not only belong to Pura. We have other offices. We have the American Embassy. Don't you think that huge number, in fact, will be fearing to other offices that are around the area?
Why? Are they doing something unlawful? Are they not peaceful? Are they hitting anybody? Are they at a location where they are supposed to report their complaints to? Is Pura being paid taxpayers' money so that Gambians can come to them and listen to them and complain to them? Is there a quota? There should be 5 people who should come to Pura. No, only 100 people can come to Pura. No, only 200 people can come to Pura. only 300, only 400. Are these laws in existence? You see, the laws in this country are there for a reason. Okay? Now, we have to respect those laws. You see, the Public Order Act, we don't fully subscribe to it, but it's the law. So because it is the law, we don't go out and start marching and protesting without seeking for a permit. Okay? But whatever the law gives us a right to do, we are within our limits to exercise that. And we believe that we have to engage Gambians. You see, if we want to go about like that, nothing is going to change here in this country. Yeah.
I mean, the next point that I will in fact talk about this time around, we're going to be, a little bit, controversial.
No problem.
At one point in time, in fact, after the Pura incident, people came out claiming that the likes of Kemo Fati stole the show from Gomsa Bopa. I want to understand what show did they steal from Gomsa Bopa?
That's a very good question. And I think those people who made those allegations would be the best people to answer. Now, but I will try to still answer the question, okay? And I will give some clarifications just so that it's clear. Now, there have been some accusations, baseless accusations that have come out about Gomsa Bopa, Gala, and some other colleagues, Kemo Fati, etc. Now, those allegations have not been backed with any evidence, you understand? And us, we have a country to rescue, you see? So now, it's true, we are accountable to the Gambian public because that's where we derive our legitimacy from, okay? We are standing with Gambians, we are working with Gambians, and Gambians are behind us. But those allegations about a show, clearly, Cypher, we have our Cypher. This is not a show. The Cypher is a show. And some of our other activities which we do. I already said some of the things we do concerts and all of those things. Just think about it. Anybody with a reasonable mind can just think about it. Does it make any sense? What show is here? Huh? There is no show here. This is real life. We spend time in Mile 2. We spend time in police cells. That is not a show. That's a very serious matter. Kemo Fati and our other colleagues, Saibo, Aliuba, and some of the others, right? And there was even one journalist on that very day. This is at the AG. And also to clarify, it's not Pura, it's the AG thing. The AG thing, Gomsa Bopa, we were not even there per se on the ground. Yeah, some of our members did go, but we were not there because we were taking our time. We already have an issue which we are focusing on, which is the Pura, right? And then we also have court cases which we are dealing with, and also police brutality. So we actually were not there. So just to put to bed how nonsensical it is, we were not even going for the AG protest.
So basically, Gomsa Bopa was not even present physically
at the AG protest. What we were present for, and this is where the accusations came, is when our colleagues were arrested and detained, and including the journalists, even though we were on court bail, we were going around from Kairaba police station to another police station to inquire about our colleagues. We did this at our own expense. Huh? Now you just be the judge here. Now, when we were there, they said that these are the allegations which probably you didn't get right. That when we went around to meet some of our colleagues, we were alleged to be there saying those kind of things, that these people stole our show, that some of them are so fickle that I cannot even remember. So, but anyways, what we did that day, we went around, looked for our colleagues, got them food, right? The journalist, he was isolated in Kairaba. We went and got the journalist food. I said I'm a journalist. I'm not going to allow them to leave our journalists behind. We gave the journalist food. By the time when we arrived at Kairaba, our people were behind the bars. And as soon as they saw us come, they told rush them inside. Because Kairaba police station, there's a place inside, cells inside, they rush them inside. And then we were pleading that no, they should not treat our people there, because we know inside there's a toilet in there, and inside there, that place is very nasty and disgusting. It's not place fit for people to be put there. Yeah. So we were there negotiating with the police, my brother. You see, this work, it's a selfless and a thankless work. It's a work which you do, they will insult you. You'll be putting in your own money. You'll be going place for me and Killer Ace, we bought, we don't have to say all, we bought this food. We paid transportation to go around. Nobody is going to pay us anything for that. But our colleagues, when we were inside jail, when we were in mile 2, guess what? They were doing the same thing for us. And I can confidently tell you, when these things happen and we are caught or something, multiple people, we are not going to take any ownership, because of many people come and do the same thing. They'll be bringing food. In fact, we usually have a lot of food there that we share with even the police. That's how people come. This is the solidarity we have. See, look, all these small talks, it's not taking us anywhere. You see, for us, Gomsa Bopa, we have decided we are accountable to the Gambian people. When people bring up accusations or allegations, they must be backed by facts or evidence. Then we will respond. But for now, our position is we have a country to rescue, and we are not going to get sucked into baseless accusations. Some people who accused us, when they wrote their post, they deleted it. And they came out and started giving half apologies. That it was the emotions that took over them, etc., etc. And they deleted their posts. Baseless accusations. One of the baseless accusations which I really also want to debunk is that there was disagreement between Gala and Gomsa Bopa over money, or push and pull over money.
We were coming to that.
Okay. Let me let you. You can go into that now, if you want. You can ask me if you were sorry.
That was going to be my next question.
All right.
We all know it's not easy. Bringing people together.
Yes.
What is the source of funding for Gomsa Bopa?
Gomsa Bopa, our source of funding is private, crowdfunding. Our supporters fund us. We also have some programs which we do, international support, like the Prince Charles Trust has funded us, even our cipher. That's how we get money. We also do have a lot of well-wishers. There was not too long ago, we had some support. But this is how we fund. It's mostly self-funded. Most of the activities we do is self-funded. We started a media campaign. I pay my transport to come here. You understand? To come and do this. I'm not getting paid for it. The movement, when they look at it and they see how much effort I've done, they can give me transportation refund. But it never compensates fully for all the work which we do, the time and the effort. So most of our funding is all coming from us.
Critics out there will suggest that
Which critics?
Gomsa Bopa and Edward Furness's Small Center for Rights and Justice and Gala are seeking centers. Is Gomsa Bopa a recognition seeking center?
Which critics? So I can answer your question, Papa.
Come on, obviously,
you're talking to a journalist too there.
Critics in the sense that people that don't subscribe to the idea of protest and other stuff. That would mean politicians. Not all politicians, but I believe you understand the point that I'm talking about.
Yes.
They believe that Gomsa Bopa, Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice, Gala are attention-seeking centers. Do you believe Gomsa Bopa is an attention-seeking center?
I think those are just baseless accusations. Attention-seeking centers. For me, I don't even think that I should react to that, because for me, people will always say, nobody is beyond criticism. Let's be fair. And we are not perfect, for sure. Right? People will criticize us. Sometimes we will get things wrong, and they will criticize us, and we will listen to it, and then we take the positives Because there's constructive criticism and there's criticism, which is just criticism. So we want to continue to listen to constructive criticism. I feel that somebody saying it's attention seeking. I don't know what point. If we are now, if we are not, it does not change anything. What changes things? What are we advocating for? We are advocating for Gambians who are being killed. We have stood with Gambians who have been victims of police brutality, and we have had justice at least twice. Young people have been killed in this country. We stood up for them. We continue to stood up for them. Usman Baji was killed here. We stood up for them. Keba Seka. And these two, they were killed. Nothing came out of it. Stabbed to death by an officer. Nothing. If people are accusing me of being an attention seeker for fighting for these people, I am a proud attention seeker. Proud one for that matter. But if people are accusing me for seeking attention for foolish things, then that one I can say maybe I'll be ashamed for. Right? Yeah.
I mean, that is a very good, clear response to that. I believe those that will doubt, those that were also always doubting Gomsa Bopa and other civil society organizations who will now clear their doubt that they are not here for money, they are not here for public recognition, but they are here to rescue the nation. The next point that is Gomsa Bopa politically motivated? Because I remember during the first protest the Gala did, I was in upcountry, when I was sitting in the midst of some elders, we were discussing, some of them don't know that I'm a media practitioner. But I was like, what do you make up of these people? Some suggest that, these people are, some of them are, using this protest as a stepping stone for both national and international recognition. In fact, some suggest that some of these protesters are looking for a political opportunity. So I want to understand this. Has Gomsa Bopa fallen into that trap of political opportunities, or are they doing this for national recognition?
That's a good question. You see, I can't answer for everybody. But what I can do today, as the spokesperson of Gomsa Bopa, I can speak for Gomsa Bopa. Right? I can't speak for Gala, or I can't speak for any other organization. But what I know is that we have credible partners in Gala who have shaken the landscape. Right? You see, there's something. We are political. What we are not is partisan. Okay? And I want people to understand the difference. We are very political. You know why? Because we are here to impact on the political landscape. All the politics is about policies, it's about what the government is doing and things that affect our day-to-day lives. All right? So when the government makes decisions, these are political decisions, and we respond to them. So yes, we are political, but we are not partisan. But we are not partisan. And I'll explain. We don't support any party. If any of our members, and this is for Gomsa Bopa, like I have said that I'm here to speak for, please don't misconstrue me that I'm speaking for others.
Yeah.
Right? We are not partisan. Any member of Gomsa Bopa who wants to run a political campaign or whatever, they have to do that outside Gomsa Bopa. That one within us is clear. Now, what I can also give to respond to that is our track record. We were here before, during the Jame days, and there was a change in government. If we were political, from then until now, all of our members, none of us have shown any desire or intention to run for any political office. None of us. Until, you see, Gomsa Bopa was here during Jame. We held Jame accountable for killing Gambians, massacring, murdering Gambians. And yes, we were supporting of the coalition. But guess what?
When the coalition came in, we were one of the first to do what? Occupy Westfield together with our colleagues. In the same year, 2017, those who were with the government, now they see us as opposition. So you can see, we are not partisan in the sense that Barrow will go, the next person who comes here will hold them accountable. We are not saying that anybody, because of politics, you see, being an activist does not mean that you have to say that you cannot go into politics. No. But when you decide to say that you are going to go into politics, you will have to put aside the activism aspect and the leadership in activism. Right? For us, inside our Gomsa Bopa, that's how we run. We cannot control how others are running their organizations. But for us, that's what we know. If you spoke to Killer Ace today, he will tell you that. So we have been consistent. Our track record speaks for itself. We can understand that people are raising concerns and doubts. Because another aspect is we cannot control the people who come to the protests. That we cannot control. And if people who are in politics come to protest, we are not going to drive them away. No. What we want is for all of them to even come on the board, and then they say, show the resolve that to change it, and then they change it, and then they continue, and then they go and do their own politics. We don't have any problem with that. But the issue which we are talking about, for example, we are protesting or talking about corruption. They all come on board and they say corruption is bad, we have to fight it, and then they have a convergence, and then they say that tangible efforts are now coming to. But is that not why we are protesting? Is that not why when we are protesting, we call the government to come and take the petition? So we are political, right? But what we are not is partisan.
Gomsa Bopa is political, but it's not partisan. Let's go to Usain Gambia's claim. What response do you have?
What is his claim?
That, I mean, you guys were fighting over money with that.
Okay. Thank you for that question. That was the question which I was trying to bring out you. Because I know that people will want to know about that question, about what they will ask questions. But first of all, let's look at this thing properly. You know, I already talked about the issue of not responding to baseless allegations. Now, the gentleman who you mentioned, he's deleted his post, and he's come out with something like an apology to say that it was emotions that got the better of him. And in that same apology, he put a different thing about King Gomsa Bopa, a very positive statement about Gomsa Bopa. He came and then he left. This was during the NAWEC tariffs. The gentleman was working with us, and we appreciate his efforts while he was working with us. Right? But then to say that Gomsa Bopa or the gala will have an issue over money is completely false. All right? First, he did not bring any evidence in his allegations. Secondly, he has deleted his post and now given a half apology. I think that alone speaks for itself. But since there is still doubt, right, I will still just give some clarification. The first money was what? Raised for Killer Ace and Watson Gambia. Okay? And that was for Killer Ace. Not for Gomsa Bopa or for Gala or anybody. All right? So there is no argument there. There's no possibility for Gala and Gomsa Bopa to have any issue on this. Right? Now, but what did Killer Ace do? Just to show you how we treat this so-called money. 400,000 is a lot of money. Right? It's good money. But Killer Ace gave over 100,000 from that 400,000 to the 23 of us who went to Mount within a day or two. That same day when he got the money, he gave 20,000 to Watson Gambia. Watson Gambia published about it. And they gave that money to one of the young guys called Buddy. But Killer Ace still gave the 5,000 which he gave to all of us. Each of us had 5,000 from him, from his own generosity. Money is not what. We did not go to protest expecting that they are going to give us money. Who does that? It's just crazy. Now, to say that between us we were fighting, I'm going to debunk that further. The second time when we got any sort of funds, right, was the diaspora. They raised the funds. And the argument was that we were fighting over the percentage split. The people from the diaspora who raised the funds, they are my people, I know them very well. I was in the diaspora. It's the same people that I was fighting, advocating with against the previous regime. They are the same people. They know me very well. So you know what? They called me to ask our permission and to let us know that they are raising these funds on our behalf. They never even discussed how they are going to split the money. Somebody said that they are raising funds for you. What's your business with asking them, oh, how are you going to split the money? No, I did not. I'm the one who spoke to those in the diaspora, me. Anybody ask you, it's me. I spoke to them. And they are the ones who approach us to raise the funds for us after seeing the Killer Ace fundraiser. So when they approached us, I said, thank you. We'll be very grateful. They went ahead, raised the money. Gomsa Bopa and Gala. We never had one conversation about how we are going to split the money. Not one conversation. If those who are making these allegations can bring one shred of evidence where we were even talking about it, let them bring it today. Let them bring it to your media. That never even happened. I'm telling you that we did not even have a conversation, let alone to have a fight over the split. We just sat down. Our diaspora people, after doing the fundraising, came and gave the money to us 50-50. We did not ask. We did not inquire. It's not our business. We don't have the authority to demand that those who are giving us the money, how much you have to give us. What? Who does that? So, but, since I have apology has already been given and the allegations have been deleted, I think that alone speaks for itself.
Were you guys expecting money before you protest?
I think I already debunked that just by asking. Who goes to protest and expects money?
The issue is, last time we were discussing, I was discussing with a colleague, I will bring my discussions that, why would someone be, compensated for protest?
Exactly.
But you guys receive each $5,000. Is that not a form of compensation?
No. Did I not explain to you? How is that a compensation? Is that a compensation to you? I'm asking. Do you think that that's a compensation?
Well, our viewers will be.
No, I think you need to clarify that because I've already clarified that.
I understand your point that Killer is. That it was. A fundraiser for Killer
Yes.
is, and from his own generosity, he
Yes.
decided to. Give it.
Let me ask you. What's the cost of somebody spending 3 days in the police cell or 1 day in a police cell? Refused your freedom. What's the cost of spending 2 nights in mile 2?
No cost at all.
What's the cost of me? I went for a hunger strike while in mile 2. I am the one who I'm the one who called a hunger strike, and 3-4 of my colleagues went on hunger strike while in mile 2.
We will be. I was about to ask that question.
Yes.
Why?
So it's what? Let's put a figure to that. Just put a figure. How much will that cost?
I'm not sure.
How many? Okay. How
I'm
much?
not sure. I'm not sure.
For
even,
1 day. I'm
not sure even a trillion can cover. Okay.
So I think you see, like I said, we have a country to rescue.
Yeah.
I am a civil engineer by profession.
See?
Civil engineer. I studied civil engineering and I work as a civil engineer in the UK. But media, advocacy, protest, New Gambia is my passion. And I focus on media. So I know the sacrifice that I'm doing. For how many years since before Jammeh came? We have been doing this thing.
Nobody gave us Bluetooth. Now all of a sudden, because funds was raised for Killer Ace, he in his generosity decided to give it to his colleagues. He could have sat down with it and had it all by himself. And I think that that's a positive thing. Let me tell you something. One thing which is, I know what I want people to get from this is, this struggle for us to have real change and advocacy needs funding. It's not going to happen without funding. Banners cost. If we have a permit and we want to hold a loudspeaker, loudspeakers cost. Water alone to give for protesters cost. The caravan we have been doing these things, my brother. Huh? You see, the thing is, he who feels it knows it. When we did our protest against the NAWEC tariffs, right? Our good Gambians came together, supported us. The money, we spent it on a caravan. Because we had a caravan that time, a vehicle there, so that we could stand on top and we paid for electricity. We even paid for a generator. Because when you're outside there and you have your speakers, we paid for speakers to make and all of that. We need to connect it to a generator. Until if some people will remember, our generator was not working. Now it even connect us electricity. Because we were outside now it connect us electricity. Because the generator which we had got for was not working. You see, it's so easy to be criticizing and say things which are honestly yeah.
You called for hunger strike. I mean, at mile 2 Central Prison, we all know staying out of food for days could be, dangerous for one's health. Don't you think? What motivated you to that, taking that action before I take that?
Multiple reasons. Firstly, the laws are very clear. We felt like, one, we were thrown into mile 2 for bailable offenses. 23 people thrown into mile 2, their liberty seized from them for a bailable offense.
But were you not given bail at the initial stage?
Police bail is different from court bail. Okay? And I'll also debunk that. We were offered police bail and we rejected it because we were not going to police to report to police every other day, every day they go to report. No. For something which we feel like we have not broken any law. But we accepted to go to court. Let them take us to court. And what the court says is this is a bailable offense. Okay? So that means that we are obliged to be given bail, except they can prove that we are a flight risk or something, X, Y, or Z reason why they must not give us. Because the law says this is a bailable offense. The prosecutor did not object to our bail application. Right? But then the magistrate, for some reason, decided that they would suspend the hearing to hear the final verdict on the bail. When we went into mile 2, we were there now at the entrance. They were bringing people out to tell you how full mile 2 is. They were bringing people out, taking them out of the mile 2 so that we can fit in. This is how many people were there. 23 people, you just send them to mile 2 for a bailable offense to silence us. Guess what? 3 of the people who took police bail, right? They were actually sick. Okay, one of them had a shoulder injury, one of them was young, and the other guy was also having some medical issues. If at all it was because we did not take the police bail, that's why they did not want to give us the court bail immediately. Then what about those 3? All of us were thrown into mile 2. What benefit was it then if we had taken police bail? Can you see where I'm coming from? Now, it's also very, very important for us to highlight. We feel that we were being silenced. If they believe that the authorities or anybody
believes that throwing us in mile 2 will silence us. Well, now you have thrown us into mile 2, so we have seen everything that is there. And in fact, us not eating was the last way we could protest. And you think that we are going to silence us in mile 2? We will protest there. We protested.
But don't you think staying out of food could lead one to death?
Why? What about eating the berry, which has been the leading cause of death in mile 2? Are you aware that, hold on, are you aware that the bad food that inmates eat in mile 2 is the leading cause of death in there? Go and read the TRRC. If you see, the thing is, you will not know. If you go to mile 2, you will see whether you should eat food there. Me, actually, we were lucky because of people, we were being brought our own food. None of us, the 23, ate any of the mile 2 food there. I can tell you that. That's how bad it was.
But you were eating food that was brought to you.
And my own food, I gave it to my colleagues. I gave it to the inmates.
And you still choose to.
I chose to. That was my form of protest. Are you hearing me?
But don't you think at that point in time, if you die in custody, that you're going to stay in the name of the, prison services, that an inmate died because he refused to eat?
An inmate died because of you put somebody in mile 2 for a bailable offense, 1. Exposing them to a terrible environment.
But don't you think you can pursue your rights at the court? Why not you eat the food and you go to court and the judge will make his final verdict?
You see, when you are in that situation, you will have a choice to make. Whether your choice is to go ahead and eat food that is not fit for human purpose, and continue and remain silenced and go along with just the court.
Now, let me answer. I'm answering. Food that was provided.
Yes,
by
I'm answering.
I'm answering. The food that was brought to you.
I said I am protesting against the fact that our rights were curtailed. We were sent into mile 2 for bailable offenses. Number 1, to be silenced, and I am not going to be silenced. We went in there, and me refusing to eat the food is a form of protest because of you have put us in here when the law clearly says that this is a bailable offense, when the prosecution has not objected to our bail, right? So what reason is there to keep us in mile 2, exposing us to the negative food? Wait, the way somebody decides to protest is their way. You have every right to decide how you are going to protest. If you were held in mile 2, it's your right to say, you know what, I'm not going to go on hunger strike. And guess what? We are very democratic. When I said I was going to go on hunger strike, I did not say all 23 people have to go on hunger strike. I just told them, and I said, me, this is what I've decided to do. Right? Others also looked into it and realized that, you know what, they are going to do the same thing. By choice, the same choice you have. And you can criticize that decision, like you can do now. But I know the impact that has done. I know the advocacy. You know how many people are now aware of what is going on in mile 2 because of that hunger strike which we did? You know how many people are aware of the fact that we were being held there, that the prosecution did not object to our bail, right? And that the magistrate just decided to send us to mile 2, 23 people to mile 2, when there was, just to be very frank, no reason, no cause for doing that. You know how much the congestedness in people are talking about mile 2. Don't you hear the government is now saying that they are going to bring a new prison cell? See, advocacy is not like that there. It's not easy like that there. It's not easy like that there.
You're using the words of the president.
I'm telling you, it's not easy like that. And I'll use another word of the president. Fuck mudem. Push mudem. Because you put us in mile 2, you think that motor be the fatah. Then you push mudem. In fact, you push mudem.
So one could say you decided to stay away from food because you know that the moment you do that, there will be fear there will be fear that we don't want him to die in our custody. Let's read it.
My reasons are very clear, and you are just making me repeat them again and again. My reason number 1 we were denied bail for a bailable offense.
The police give
Hold on. I'm giving you are not going to tell me the reasons why I did the Augusta.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Number one, and this is, if you rewind, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
I'm just repeating myself.
Yeah.
Number one point, bailable offense is bailable offense. Prosecution did not object to our bail. The magistrate decided to send us to mile 2. I'm protesting that. Because we were sent into mile 2 to silence us. And if they think that they are going to silence us by being in mile 2, wait now, we are going to hunger strike, and this is another protest. It's a form of protest. Then, the other issue, now that you have brought us on here in mile 2, right? And now we have seen how terrible this place is. Now, the world also must know about mile 2. There are multiple reasons why I protested. And this, I hope it's very clear.
Very good.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the Public Order Act, because most of the time, whenever you civil society organizations or concerned groups, right for permit, they are denied permit because of the Public Order Act. There is a restriction on how to whether you have the opportunity or whether you have that whether you even have that right to go out and protest. Let's talk about the Public Order Act. What is your overview of the Public Order Act?
Have you read it? Have you read the Public Order Act?
Yeah, I read it once.
Okay. So, the first thing that people misconstrue on the Public Order Act, even if you read the Public Order Act itself, let me just load it here. It's on my mobile phone. The Public Order Act is described. This is the description of the Public Order Act. And the moment I describe it, people will start to understand what is the Public Order Act there for. An act to prohibit the maintenance by private persons of associations of military or similar character, and to make provision for the preservation of public order on the occasion of public processions, and to make provision for the control of the use in public apparatus for amplifying sound and for connected matters. That's what the Public Order Act is for. I think that's very clear. The Public Order Act is not there to regulate every single protest. The words are very clear. It did not say an act to regulate protest in the country. Now, the Public Order Act has a very important function. The main focus, the beginning, right, to prohibit the maintenance by private persons of associations of military or similar character. That's very serious. It's to prohibit, you cannot have an association where you have a militia in the country. That's what that is mainly for. Because that will completely violate public order. That can be used to do what? To go and destabilize the country, which we as advocates don't want. That's the main focus of the Public Order Act. So it's about, you see, it even prioritizes it, the first thing. Then the second thing, and to make provision for the preservation of public order on the occasion of public processions. If you are processing, you need a permit. Why? You are going on the road, you are stopping others from moving. You have a right, but others also have a right. So procession, you cannot process stopping people from the road and you have not requested for a permit. That's what the Public Order Act is there for. The second part, and to make provision for the control of the use in public apparatus for amplifying sound and for connected matters. This is all just from the description. You don't even have to disturb yourself to go inside. Because if you go inside, you confirm everything that I'm saying. And I know we don't have forever here. If you want to use a hailer or a loud microphone, you are going to make noise and you could be disturbing others. Okay? Even though we know in the market, people are playing loudspeaker, people are using one-tier, promotional audios, right? That is happening. But this is what the law is saying. So, police, those of your boss will remember when we were there I was talking to the police. showing them. This is what I was showing them. You see what I just explained to you? Is what I was showing them. The Public Order Act, I'm having it. Anybody who wants it, we can share it with you. You can read it, and because the police themselves need to be au fait with the law so that they can, be, how could I say, purveyors of the law, people who are making sure that the people comply with the law, not just what orders from the top, or they order us to go and stop those people from gathering there. Is it a lawful assembly or is it an unlawful assembly? You see, any assembly where people are gathered there, they are not having weapons, they are not fighting, they are not destroying property, they are not threatening around. It's a lawful and it's a peaceful assembly. Police don't have any right whatsoever to go and disperse them. If you go by the laws of the Gambia, Section 25. In this Public Order Act, it does not say anywhere inside this Public Order Act that the police have a right to go see a peaceful assembly is gathered, nobody is doing no problem, nothing is happening, they are not threatening nobody, and you go and disperse them. It's not in this. It's not here. What they have the right to do, you can assemble, right? You can gather. But the moment you start to have any problem there, fighting or whatever, or destroying properties, or it's a threat to the public peace, breach of the peace, police have every right to intervene in there and disband that assembly. So our job is not easy. We are not only sensitizing the public, even the police, we are sensitizing them.
No, my point is, most of the time when civil society organizations, right for permit to go out and protest, the IGP has no other choice but to deny, given that
he has a choice, Kai. Don't say he doesn't have. I will not accept that one. What do you mean he does not have a choice?
The IGP has this, favorite words of his that, it's a threat to public safety and public security and other stuff. And all of a sudden, what we've seen is like, whenever permits are being denied and people go out, they're still to assemble and do their protest. Don't you think? Yes, don't mind, never mind about the, Section 25. Let's commit Section 25.
Hey,
Now, given that you are denied your right, don't you think the best place to use is the court? That go to the court, load your complaint there, and get the court, give IGP the summon, an order, in fact, not a summon. That the court give the IGP an order that give these people permit to go.
What I think, right, whether the court is not the way we should go, instead of continuing to go out on the street. You see me, one thing I believe is advocacy. You see, this is advocacy.
Yeah.
You know what are the tools of advocacy? Press conference is one of them. Protest is another one. Lawsuit is another one. Media sensitization is another one. You see me? We are using all of them.
So are we seeing series of protests coming the way?
We are going to use every single tool of advocacy. You see, the government is powerful, but it's us, the people, that make the government powerful, that give the government authority. We, as citizens, if we realize our strength, right, this government will realize that they are here to serve us and deliver to our satisfaction. What we are not going to do, Gomsa Bopa, what we are not going to do, protest. You see how the government officials, then they go to their AC, their office, that's their office. Us, the street is our office.
Gomsa Bopa, the street is your office.
The street is our office. We are protest. For us to stop protest, it's not possible.
Now let's look at the president's national address. In his address, he claimed that the minority, few individuals who are pursuing division and interest. Who do you think he's referring to? Is he referring to the likes of Gomsa Bopa? Is he referring to the likes of Edward Francis Martin, Center for Rights and Justice? Or is he referring to the likes of that?
President Buigaru Alekai. I think I'm not the one to answer. the man who stated this statement, he will be the one best to answer. But clearly, it seems like he is talking about the agitators. Yes, those who are protesting our likes. That's what it seems like. All right. Although I don't know who specifically, but given the context and given what is happening, I want to believe that that's what he is referring to.
So are you seeing yourself as a catalyst of unrest?
No. How is that? I mean, I don't know how we got from that question to the house. Okay, anyways, I want to answer your question. So that I believe that he thinks it's us that he's speaking about. Now, you talk about catalyst of unrest. Let's listen to the president's statement. There are many inaccuracies even in what the president has said. The president stated that, right? Let me not misquote the president. Let me be very, very careful. I'm trying not to misquote the president. He did come out with an address, 7 minutes, in total about 5 minutes. Many people were very disappointed because there was nothing about accountability for Omar Baji's death.
In fact, that was the next point that I was going to ask.
So, but I'm still coming here. This is what he said, right? It is with a heavy heart that I address you following the recent disturbances, which have led to the tragic loss of life and injury, affecting both citizens and members of our security services. Well, Omar Baji died before any protest in London. The protest was as a reaction to the killing of Omar Baji. So, now, the reasons why, in the same statement, there are inaccuracies. Okay? So I'm setting the scene that some of the president's statements are false, wrong, misleading. Malagang has already come out with a statement. The president also said something about their respect for protest. As a nation that cherishes democracy and unity, this is a defining moment for us. We must renew our commitment to peaceful engagement and lawful expression, right? The right to protest peacefully is a cornerstone of our democracy, protected by our constitution and respected by this government. Malagang have just come out with a statement highlighting that the president, what he said is misleading, because this government does not respect protest. Let me tell you something. The catalyst for, what was the question?
Probably unrest.
Who is the catalyst for public unrest? Those who are killing Gambians. The same people who kill Usman Dabo, that cause the young people to march from. So look, young people take the back way and they die there to fight for better Gambia. To go out there and to see if they can get something and come back. Young people decide to stay here and fight for their survival. You want to kill them. And you think that people are not going to march from Serekunda to Bijulo or march from A to B? People will march. And they will continue to march. People will not be killed here. And we are not sheep. We are human beings. The catalyst for what? Instability are those who are killing Gambians. Are those who are brutalizing Gambians. Are those who the TRRC have revealed that they should be prosecuted. They are not the activists. They are not the advocates. They are not the people who are protesting. Solo Sunday, you see, today we call you catalyst for instability. Solo Sunday is a national hero. Solo Sunday is widely respected across the world, not just in Gambia. We are the children of April 10, 11, 2000. As small and tiny as they were, they killed one of the, and this will never stop in this country with regards to the solidarity. If they kill people, people will come out. If they brutalize people, people will come out. If the government is not doing what they are supposed to do, we will come out and hold them to account. If they want, let them call us all kinds of names. That is not going to stop them. We are walking on the shoulders of Solo Sunday. We are walking on the shoulders of those 15, 14 children of April 10, 11, 2000. As small and young as they were. They killed one young guy. They raped one student. They said that solidarity, justice. These young children, you and I, we are how old? Are we cowards? So, what are we saying? Those children, were they catalysts for instability? They were not. You see? So, I don't know if I've answered your question, but I don't like the way you framed it now, to say that we are not catalysts for instability. You know, we should direct the right questions to the right people. Which RC have come out to highlight about what the security is doing. You will not see, we don't have weapons. Our weapons are, we come, we talk to the people. We come, we hold our placard. We talk to Gambians. We hold the government to account.
I mean, you were saying something about, the Auditor General. You said it's incredible that after all the advices the President received, but he insists on sworn in a new Auditor General.
It's shocking what is happening in our country. That the police can be used to go and remove the Auditor General from his office whilst a live press conference is going on. You see, this police now, they are even showing you that they don't care. They could have even decided to wait for after the press conference and did whatever they wanted to do.
But they have command from the higher authority.
You see, this is the same thing that was happening in the TRA in the previous administration. Command from above, orders from the top.
How do you feel whenever you hear such words?
That shows you that the police, they are not following the constitution and the laws of the Gambia. They are following orders. Just like Sar said, my instructions.
I'm not to negotiate with you. I'm
Yes.
not to disperse you from
Yes.
this premises.
My instructions are very clear. I am not here to negotiate. This is it. He got instructions. From where? God knows. Above. So this has been happening. You see, look, it's starting now like this. We are saying orders from above. But now people are being killed very soon. In the TRRC, what was the excuse? Some of the officers, what were they saying?
It was an order from the top.
For you to kill somebody, for you to torture somebody. And this is how it starts. Because of his orders, that's why they arrested us. His orders, that's why they sent us to police. And then his orders, they sent us to Mile 2. Everything is orders. The laws of the Gambia, rule of law, is taking a back seat. And the number one violator now is the head of state, who should be standing in defense of the Constitution. It's shocking. AfroSci is the institution where all the audit offices from different countries, they come, they work together, and then they have their standards. You see, these audits are done according to standards. It's not an issue of opinion. They are done according to the Gambia laws and finance regulations. This is what they follow. So when they follow those, if they don't just come up and create the laws, the auditors don't create the laws. The laws are already there. That when you are dispersing funds, thresholds are there. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do X, you have to do Y. Now all the auditors have done is to come and see, have those been done? When those have not been done, they write a management letter. It's not a witch hunt. The auditors do their investigation. After they've done their investigation, then they find out, hey, we found out these problems there. When they find those problems, they send it in what we call a management letter to the different authorities. Say if it is ports that they are currently doing a report on, and they found so many mistakes, right? They call them adverse observations or adverse opinions, right? Then the institution will now respond. Because of sometimes, maybe somebody have already, it's just the paperwork that was not done or filed or is somewhere and they didn't file it. It's missing. So those things, the management letter, when they send it, you can also respond and then address some of those things. So it's a very serious matter. If the Auditor General can be removed, all the other independent institutions, they can be easily removed.
But did you see it coming? Did you saw it coming that the Auditor General will be removed from office given that the president, described the audit report as a mere opinion?
Well, I didn't see it coming from that, but it did highlight that there is some disdain from the president towards the audit reports.
In fact, the Deputy National Advisor for NPP called the audit report a mere report.
They will say that their boss have said it's a mere opinion. Now, a serious government will not spend millions on your audit report. The audit office, you have a big, wonderful building there, which you spend millions on to create, and it's very clear. Auditors are there to save us money. As I've said, the rules, the financial regulations, they are not created by the audit office. The auditors, all they do, they make sure that these regulations, that institutions know very well. These institutions, they have finance person, they have an accountant, to make sure that they follow all of those regulations. All the auditors are doing. Auditors, the auditors don't come up with the rules. They go and they check the rules are there. Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done that? Those things, if you don't do them, they start flagging. And that's where the corruption starts now showing. Then they start asking questions. You see, so the auditors reports, if a government which is serious in fighting corruption, they will not say those things. They will take these things very seriously. What the president's office should have been saying, and advisors of the presidents, what they should have been saying, that these audit reports are very damning. No wonder, we've seen the audit report that have just come out of late, and what is talking about stadium. This is why we cannot play in our stadium until now. The audit reports are there to save us. A serious government, a serious president would have looked at those reports and said, police have what you call financial intelligence unit or financial crimes unit. Yeah. They would have ordered, because of when the auditors do their report, they send it to the police. The president also has visibility of it. A serious government would have told the financial and crimes intelligence unit, investigate these monies, hold these people, prosecute them. Second example, this is what is missing in this country there. That's why you see Ghana is out there. That's why you see Gomsa Bopa is out there. Because of you have an executive who will tell you that audit reports are just opinions after spending millions and millions on them. Does that make sense? It does not make sense. You see? And it also highlights that these people are not serious in fighting corruption.
Your final expectations. Gomsa Bopa's final expectations from the new Auditor General.
The new Auditor General, I don't recognize him. He is not the Auditor General according to the laws of the Gambia.
But he is already sworn into office.
The President has done an unconstitutional, a coup d'etat of the Constitution by doing that.
What is the stand of Gomsa Bopa with regards to the new Auditor General?
We don't recognize the new Auditor General.
And what is Gomsa Bopa planning to do next?
No, as we are going to continue. We are going to continue our advocacy if we have to, because of our colleagues, some of them have taken up. You see, the thing is, we don't believe that we can take up everything. We've come up with our colleagues of 13 different civil society organizations. So last week, we had a press conference, just last week. We are working with them. I can tell you that even today, that group, we had a meeting. We are planning, right? We are planning.
Planning what?
If they know our plans, okay. We will never arrive. Huh? You see, we will never arrive. Yeah. But what I can tell you is that we mean business then. We mean business. And this country, we have a country to rescue. It's not going to happen by just going on social media and just posting and just writing.
What is your final message to the viewers out there?
Well, my final message to the viewers out there, tomorrow we'll be going to court again. My final message is for us to put our country first. For us to put ourselves, our personal selves, second. Put Gambia first. Come
and work with the advocates. Don't wait until police come and invade your home and tear gas you in your home, or one of your colleagues or one of somebody who's close to you has been killed.
Like the tear gas our
see?
cameraman.
You see? But for him, he has been revealing this thing for long. So we have solidarity with him when that happens. Even if this thing has not been happening to you for long, or if you have not been fighting for long, if it happens to you, there will still be solidarity. But you don't wait until the thing comes to you and then you start to do something more. Join Gomsa Bopa. Join other organizations, sister organizations. Right? Let's come together and make sure that we fight police brutality, we fight for a better Gambia, we remove these tariffs. We have to remove this price floor. Even the NAWEC, cash power. Me, I'm suffering from cash power. There are so many things. You see, look, I say put our personal self. Forget about the small fights or the small arguments. We have too many things to fight for. But I want to thank you for all our listeners. I really appreciate you inviting me here.
Your final advice to the president's brother-in-law, that is the IGP of police.
So my last advice to the president's brother-in-law and the president himself. Firstly, to the president. Mr. President, you know how it feels like to lose your child. You lost your child. The whole of Gambia mourned with you. In your statement, it was very sorrowful that you did not talk about any accountability for the killers of Omar Baji. And Gambians, no matter what Gambians say, many Gambians believe the president to be at least a person of empathy. But your statement does not show any empathy. In fact, you're talking about accountability for people who have destroyed properties. Is properties more important than lives? Mr. President, that was shocking from you. Mr. President, you have a responsibility to assure Gambians that you will make sure that there is accountability for the killers of Omar Baji. And by extension, my recommendation to the IGP, Inspector General of Police, you have a very important role to play in this country, especially when it comes to the transitional justice process. The way in which your officers have been operating leaves lots to be desired. In fact, it is desecrating the never again slogan or mantra. It's high time you tell your guys to follow the law. It's high time you train your officers to be law abiding. It's high time your officers don't just willingly follow orders which are unlawful orders. Like, can you imagine the police going into the NAO? Everybody is seeing the police removing the AG from his office on a live press conference. Can you imagine the videos that we are seeing, Mr. President? The way that you gave out your statement, it seems as if you are not seeing the videos where police officers have somebody in custody, slapping them, stamping people, throwing advocates into the vans, chasing after journalists, arresting journalists, tear gassing, small babies, children, mothers. Honestly, I think the president, IGP, you have a responsibility to tell the president the truth. Ministers that are all close to the president, you have a responsibility to tell the president the truth. And you cannot shield the president from the truth forever. He will eventually find out. The only way we can have peace in this country is the government continues to implement the transitional justice recommendations. Let them learn from those mistakes from the past. Let us reform this country. The security sector reform has to happen. then we will have peace. Then we will have officers. Gambia is not like Senegal. Our protesters are calm and peaceful people. Let's be honest and truthful to ourselves. When protests happen here, look when the selective nature in which the police apply this public order act or arrest protesters. We saw when the supporters of the Imam marched into the police, nobody was arrested, nothing. But we actually, that in fact, that was a procession. But we are also in support of let them remove those things, let it be notification. So we are not calling for anybody to be arrested. It's not what we are doing. We are just highlighting the selective nature. Stop the selective thing. Protesters are peaceful in Gambia. Generally, they are peaceful. So let's please make a better Gambia and do what we need to do for this country. Thank you so much for it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Flex, for honoring our invitation. It was a very lively session with Mr. Yusuf Taylor, the spokesperson of Gomsa Bopa, and also a journalist. I mean, I have been a presenter, ML Colley, and keep following our YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, on SS Media Gambia, SS Media TV Gambia. Until we come away next week, thanks for the pleasure of your contact.